Hello again. Well, we've made some changes to the adventure vehicles once again. A while back, a couple months ago, I sold the black trimmer and purchased the new white trimmer diesel 6.7 high output. And so I ended up buying this gray 350 XLT gas 7.3 trimmer to be pretty much my work vehicle now. I ended up taking the tonneau cover off the white truck and transferring it over to the gray truck. And the reason why I did that, because I like the tonneau cover. It keeps everything dry inside, and I do have the option to use the tent if I choose to. And I've decided to make the white truck my full-time tow vehicle for the X195 Imperial Outdoors. So I was going to get a camper shell for the white truck, and that would make it a little easier getting in to get supplies when we're camping with the X195. Because using the tonneau cover, it was a little tough. You know, if you had something in the very front of the bed, you'd have to take some stuff out, and you know, you couldn't really crawl up in there too well. So I said, well, I'm gonna get a camper shell, and I started looking around at camper shells and the price of camper shells, and you know, how long it was going to take to get. And I decided that I might go a different way. So I started calling around and looking online, and I was looking for I said, well, let's get one of them Project M toppers made by 4-wheel campers. Well, them things are kind of pricey. I said, my goodness. I said, they're pretty expensive for just a camper shell, pretty much. That's all I was going to use it for. Well, I ended up going online, and I found one up in Pennsylvania at company named Mainline Overland, Mid-Atlantic, I think is their name. They have 3 locations, one in New Hampshire, one in North Carolina, and one up in PA. Well, I called down North Carolina first because that's where I was thinking about getting one built, and they, you know, said they didn't have any used ones, and it's hard to find a used one for a full-size truck. Most of these things are going on mid-sized trucks, you know, Toyotas, Tundras, and small Dodge trucks with the small beds and stuff. And I happened to call up to Pennsylvania, and I talked to one of the owners up there, and he said, you know, we just took one in trade yesterday. It wasn't even on their website. So I said, well, how much you want for it? And he told me, and we negotiated a little bit, and went ahead and paid for it. We didn't even take a deposit. He just wanted full payment. I said, all right. So we did a walk around doing a FaceTime, I guess, and it looked like it was everything he said it would be. And that was last Friday, I think, Thursday or Friday. So I wired him the money on Friday. And Friday night, my son-in-law came over and helped me get the Alucab and the Diamondback off the white truck and place it on the gray truck. There may be a video out there of that, I'm not sure. So with that being said, I called him back on Saturday. And of course, they were closed Saturday, but the guy did call me back, and he said that he wouldn't be able to know until, you know, Monday if they could do it this week coming. So Monday he called and said, hey, we can do it tomorrow on Tuesday. So I said, wow, okay. I said, so let me get my ducks in a row. And I left Tuesday, I guess it was around 2 o'clock, and I ended up in Pennsylvania at a motel. I guess it was around 8:30, 9:30 at night. Got a room and stayed there, and woke up about 5 and went over to the dealership about 7:15. That was a long day. I think it should only took a couple hours, but I was there for almost 8 hours, 8.5 hours. So I guess they had a lot going on. But they worked me in, and they, you know, they did what they said they would do. So I brought it home yesterday, or last night. I came back last night. That was about a 7.5 hour drive coming back, and about a 6.5 hour drive going up. So traffic, you know, going up toward DC and Baltimore and all that's pretty horrendous as far as I'm concerned. So got it back last night, and I took it up to my shop this morning, and I was going to wash it and clean it up because it's a little dirty. And got up there and I said, well, before I wash it, why don't I do a couple things that I wanted to do. So I had already had these Max Tracks and the mounts already. So the camper came with the mounts to put the mounts for the Max Tracks on. So I went ahead and stuck them on this morning, and that turned out real well. It did come with the optional passenger side window, and let me get a better angle here. So came with the factory awning, and it's got the walls for that, and I have several sets of these Max Tracks. I don't have them on all my trucks and Jeeps, and I don't know. I guess I need to take stock in Max Tracks. Well, it was a little more than a camper shell, but it was definitely a better fit for the truck and being the tow vehicle, so that I have, you know, more sleeping accommodations, because it does pop up. I don't know if it's a king or queen bed in there, I'm not sure, but I have a Hess Master, so it'll fit on it, and it came with the factory cushions on that. And so now this is what I'll be towing the X195 with full time, and I can get it ready for I can keep all my camping supplies and stuff in there that I normally take out and put in, and take out and put in. So with that being said, I think the payload capacity on this 250 is something like 3,100, 3,200. Let's see. It's 3,156. Has a 1-ton rear end in it, but I don't know. I guess since it has the trimmer package, they reduce the payload capacity. Still tows a lot. This truck, the 350, it will, payload capacity in this is 4,466, which is a, you know, jump compared to the diesel engine, you know, with the 7.6. So I don't know. I guess they have their reasonings, but so anyway, that's the story for now, and that's my new tow rig with the 4-wheel camper Project M. We're going to do a lot of stuff to it, I think. I may build some cabinetry and put in there, and it came with jacks. I took them off. Didn't want them on there because I don't plan on taking it off. I think if I just leave it on there, it'll be fine. But I was going to get a long bed. A long bed truck with a 4-door, that's a big truck. And maybe if I was getting a big truck camper or something, I'd put that on there. But thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching.